Hi everybody. So this is the first little video that I'm making for you guys only in the Writing for Children class. I know you're posting questions for me. That's our plan about the taste of rain, and a little technical glitch with that, but hopefully that'll go okay and you'll be able to learn a little bit about the book. That's what we're going to be doing this week. So this week we finish our middle grade unit and we begin to sort of prepare for the YA unit, which is the final unit of the course. And you should have plenty of time to work on that assignment. And in the meantime, I'm happy because I'm reading your middle grade chapters and they're good. And as you know, if you let me know, try to let me know today if possible. If you need an extension on the middle grade, you're officially allowed to have it till next Monday. But I'm just as happy to get started on the correcting because I need to feel like a teacher again. Okay, so I want to tell you some stuff about the Taste of Rain today. So I think I may have mentioned a little bit about it in class, but I'll sort of, now that we're spending our week talking a bit more about it, and like I said, preparing for the other stuff, I'll tell you the story again, because I explained to you that every book has a story behind it. I think any author would tell you that. So in this case, and again, maybe I told it to you already, but I'm not sure I did. Okay, so my editor, who I've mentioned to you before, she's often my editor, although I've had more than one, Sarah Harvey, who was at Orca Book, and now she's doing freelance editing because she retired. But luckily, I still get to work with her. So she was at Orca, and she called me one morning. It was a weekend morning. She lives on Vancouver Island, British Columbia. And she said, turn on the radio because there's the show that you really need to listen to, a radio program. And it was a documentary, and the documentary was about these kids who, now grown up, now quite old in fact, who during World War II had been interned at a place called Weysin. And I'm quite close with Sarah, and when I listened to the documentary, I think I figured out why she wanted me to hear it. And she also said to me, Monique, this is your next book. You've got to write this book. And when I heard it, it was really about the power of cheerfulness. And you know me well enough because you had me for, I guess, 8 weeks of being your teacher in person and another 8 weeks to go with the computer and forums. Anyway, it's about the kids really depended on cheerfulness to get by. And Sarah is very different from me. And sometimes I have felt in our friendship, and we joke around about it, that she's much more the realistic one and I'm like upbeat, cheerful all the time. And sometimes cheerful people, I think we might get on the nerves of those more realistic, sort of the, a little bit less cheerful kind of people. So that was my goal in working on the book. I really wanted to explore, like, is cheerfulness good? Is cheerfulness phony? Is cheerfulness a weakness, or is cheerfulness a strength? And probably sometimes a bit of both, no? Because sometimes if we're too cheerful, we can like delude ourselves, right? And that sort of ties into another subject that I'm interested in, which is hope. And it's kind of an interesting thing to talk about during the days that we're going through now, because we know the pandemic will end. So we do have hope for the future, thank goodness. And I don't know if I told you this, but that's something my mom always said when she spoke to students, because sometimes she came with me and, the book that I wrote about her, she'd come and talk to kids. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you a picture of my mother that is over my writing desk here in my office. And this picture was done before the war. Did you see it? And she didn't like to see that picture. But anyway, because I think it reminded her too much of everything that she lost during her years, also in a concentration camp. So my mom would say to kids, the only thing the Nazis couldn't take away from us, they could take away our families, they could take away our houses, they could take away everything, our clothing. The one thing they couldn't take away from us was hope. So maybe that has something to do with the Taste of Rain a little bit today too. Okay, so how about go ahead, post your questions. I have a few more things I want to do tonight. But before I make dinner, I'll try to answer a few of the questions on the forum. and keep them going. And maybe there'll be enough in your questions that I can use that for my little videos this week. I'll keep it under 5 minutes so I have time to say goodbye because it's exactly 5 minutes. Okay, don't give up hope. Bye.